Well, hello everyone. This is buyer's agent Richard Kadish, owner and broker in charge of Go Gated Realty, Hilton Head Island and Bluffton, South Carolina. And my cell number 843-684-2933. My email rich@gogated.com. And today is October 24th, 2025. And we're at Sun City Hilton Head by Del Webb, a 55 and over community of active seniors and outstanding recreational amenities, more than 125 clubs and groups. And today we're in Sun City South, the original section of Sun City, a gated community, as you can see. And we're here today to see a resale home that was purchased by one of my clients and recently closed. They've been kind enough to let us walk through the home and take a look and see what $399,000 will buy in Sun City today. On our way to the house, we'll talk about the real estate market, specifically the real estate market here in Sun City South, and we'll talk a bit about my service as a buyer's agent. And regarding that, let me introduce myself and my credentials. I'm a buyer's agent. I don't represent Del Webb or the Sun City community. I'm a fiduciary, a member of our local MLS. I represent you, the buyer, with more than 47 years of local real estate experience with advice that you can trust. I'm also a former licensed South Carolina home builder. I love working with buyers who want new construction and new homes, but I also compare resale homes with my buyers to new homes. We compare communities to find the home that you want, that meets your needs in terms of your budget, your lifestyle, all the things that are important to you, be it on Hilton Head Island or here in Bluffton. And perhaps the best thing about having a buyer's agent, ladies and gentlemen, is that it just doesn't cost you a thing. The seller pays my commission, they pay my fee, it's paid at closing. And of course we can talk more about that when you call or email, all about how to work together. A lot of that work is done before you arrive in the Hilton Head Bluffton area by phone and internet. And typically I set you up as a buyer with a list of homes that will meet your needs in a format that will update automatically, and we review those, and it allows you to monitor your personal real estate market. Well, on our way to our subject house today, let's just review a little bit about the market, specifically the market within Sun City South, because there's markets within markets, ladies and gentlemen. There's regional markets. We have our greater MLS area markets. We have Sun City markets. You know, there's Sun City South, the original community. You have Sun City North. You have Riverbend. And the newest section of Sun City West. That's where all the new homes are being built. The other parts of Sun City are all sold out. Well, with the exception of a few very small things in Riverbend. But let's just focus here on Sun City South. Today in Sun City South, there are 120 homes for sale, and they range in price from $255,000 up to $789,000. And the size as well, 1,085 square feet to 3,188 square feet. The average listed price today, $463,810. and the average size is 1,866 square feet. That last number surprised me a little bit when I ran the numbers, because it seems a little bit larger than what a lot of my buyers need. But it seems like a lot, doesn't it? 120 homes for sale today through our MLS. However, in the last 180 days, 196 homes have sold just here in Sun City South. And the ones that have sold have averaged $423,000. Average days on the market, 91. The average bid to ask ratio, 96.68%. These are questions a lot of people ask me pretty regularly. Hey, what kind of an offer should we make? Well, the sellers are always looking at what that average bid to ask ratio is. And this remains a seller's market. When you look at how much the demand exceeds the supply right here in Sun City South, well, that's indicative of a seller's market, ladies and gentlemen. Now, recently, several of my buyers have been focusing on homes here in Sun City for under $400,000. Well, new homes way over in Sun City West, I say way over, it's, not far, it's connected, of course. But those are going to start today somewhere in the mid-4s. So when anyone's contacting me about under $400,000, we're talking by definition really here of a resale home. And today the selection is good. And with at least 1,400 square feet, we're talking about 30 homes for sale today. Good selection, more than we've seen in several years. That's a good thing. A few differences worth talking about are that here in the South, the annual HOA fee, $2,688, breaks down to $224 a month. Here in the South, owners pay for their own yard care, as opposed to in the North or the West section. The HOA is higher, $3,540 per year. That breaks down to $295 a month. However, in the North and the West, yard care is included. There's also a few other factors. North and South are in different counties, and so there's different tax bases that we have to consider. We can go over all of this, all the details of any and all homes of this and other communities when you call and or email. We can go into what you're looking for, your budget, the types of things that are important to you. I'll just say anecdotally, personally, that, but I know this from talking to my colleagues too, that it's been a relatively slow year compared to some of the go-go years that we've had in the last few years. I haven't minded it myself. It's given me a lot of time to read a few books that I've been wanting to read and catch up on some episodes of Gunsmoke that I missed when I was a kid. But a lot of people were on the sidelines this year. They were on the sidelines because they were concerned about, chaotic things relating to interest rates, political things, economic things. People like to wait sometimes. They like to wait until it kind of shakes out, settles down. But they don't stay away for too long because people don't want to postpone their retirement. Most people say that they wish they had retired or made the move sooner. They don't want to wait too long. And we're seeing that happen now with people getting back in the market. They're tired of waiting. This year's slowdown, if you want to call it that, wasn't much of one, but we had one just the same. Well, it gave me time to build a new website, which we just brought online about 2 weeks ago. I certainly hope that you go and visit it. It's gogated.com. And also I celebrated my 75th birthday on October 8th, As you know, that can take time. It takes a lot of time to turn 75, ladies and gentlemen. So those are some personal things about this year, and how you can put a slower year to good use. Well, we're here now at our subject property today, and it has a great curbside appearance. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, a beautiful Carolina room, and a patio. Great golf view out back. Before we go in, let's just take a look around the neighborhood here. This would be a typical Sun City South neighborhood with mature trees. What's a little bit different about this particular house is the fact that it has not just a great view out the back, an expansive golf view, but it has this beautiful pond across the street. In other words, no neighbors across the street. People fishing out here. Just an absolutely beautiful location. My buyers recognized that immediately when we looked at this house. It was something that was very attractive for them. The house itself, 1,576 square feet, built in 1997 on 0.15 acres. It has a lot of improvements and a few renovations that were very important. Because when we have these resale homes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have to look at. We have to look at the roofs, the heating and air system, the appliances. We have the houses, of course, inspected by a certified inspector. Stucco inspection if it's a stucco house, which this is not. Well, let's go in and just take a look. Very good curbside appearance, like I say. They've got the extra aftermarket widening of the driveway here. The house has gutters. And the new roof, by the way, 2012. Gutter guards, 2018. Let's go in. And this house has very, very little wasted space. We're standing here in the foyer, looking across the living room, the breakfast area, towards the Carolina room, and the floors are beautiful. They're the luxury vinyl plank, and it has these beautiful luxury vinyl plank floors throughout. Let's just go over here and take a look at the back. Sneak preview. We'll go out there in a while, but what a beautiful Carolina room. A couple of definitions here between Carolina room, screen porch, and a sunroom. Notice how this living room, sometimes called a gathering room, is segregated off from that Carolina room by this big sliding glass door. People love those big doors, of course. Well, that allows you to step out back and have then, if this were just a covered and screened porch, that would be a screened porch. In this case, if you have a sunroom, that means that the panels there do not necessarily open and close, and that room may not be segregated from the rest of the house. It could be just an extension of the living room. We call those sunrooms. Now in this case, it does allow separation from the house, and these panels do open and close, and when they're open you have then a screened porch, and when they're closed you have a sunroom. But we call those Carolina rooms. I suppose in Florida they call them Florida rooms. But a beautiful tiled floor here. Really, really nice. You very seldom see older houses that don't have a cracked tile or two, but they don't have one here. That's how nice it is. And this is your dining area here with a bay window. And we also had some fog glass replaced. I think I may have said we had a certified inspection made. There was a short list of rather simple repairs, but there were a few pieces of fog glass. We had those replaced as part of our second round of negotiations. The living room having a gas fireplace, and you see the TV gets hung up over the gas fireplace as it happens. All the hanging fixtures that you see are included in a resale home. Typically the window coverings are too, as they are here. Here is the kitchen. Not too big, not too small, just about right. And this is, I'm not sure actually if this is a Corian or a cultured marble. I think it's white Corian with a single bin stainless sink. Now again, in resales, you'll see just everything. You'll see a little bit of everything. You'll see things that have been renovated, things that haven't been renovated. And this one is in just perfect condition, very well cared for. You'll see a lot of these models in Sun City have these high windows above the kitchen cabinets. Just off to the right here is our laundry. And the washer and dryer were included, they are included. And extra cabinets instead of just a shelf on both sides. Ready to go, I guess you could say, turnkey. And in our garage, the seller had a lot of arts and crafts stuff going out here. They didn't use this for cars. They had work tables out here, and they were craftsmen. Well, they left some of those cabinets for us. Some storage out here. That's always welcome. Now, this also has an insulated garage door. All the more important if that garage door faces west, but it doesn't. The left side of the garage here faces east, and the sun comes across, and this wall is to the west, but it's insulated anyway. That was done in the aftermarket. That was a nice feature. And then here are some of the important mechanicals, being our air handler and heater, which by the way is just 1 year old. It's a Lennox, which is 1 year old, with an extra filter there on the side. And then the water heater is again just 1 year old. So you see we have a newer roof, we have new flooring, we have these new mechanicals. So these are things that are all very appealing, and a drop down stairway to the attic. Many of the resale homes just do have a hatch. So we look for all of these things, and they can add or subtract from the attractiveness of the house. Well, across this living room on the left side, we have our first and second bedrooms. Of course, part of the attractiveness of any sale is oftentimes the price. Well, this house was listed at $399, and the buyers did pay full price for the house, and I'll tell you why. Several reasons. One is that they loved the house. This location is magnificent. Once again, just take a look out there. Lovely yard, beautiful fairway view, T-box view, distant fairway view, oftentimes called a double fairway. Lots of woods, really, really primo. Second reason is that there were multiple offers on this house. And so we had to make sure that we got the house. The buyers and I looked at each other and we said, let's go for it. So we offered them the full asking price, and sure enough, we got it. And this is the primary bathroom. That window, high window, was fogged. It was replaced as part of our second round of negotiations, but this is a very bright bathroom. That's another feature that we look for in any home, not just a resale home, is it light and bright? In this case, the answer is certainly yes. Catches the sun beautifully. And finally, as we move to the front of the house, we have our second bathroom with the cultured marble top, integral basin. You see a lot of these fiberglass tub shower combinations. Once again, beautiful high window, clear as can be because it was just replaced. Our luxury vinyl plank, continuing on through the house. Another bay window. As I said, the hanging fixtures are included. We have flat ceilings. In some of these older houses, ladies and gentlemen, we get a lot of textured ceilings. It doesn't make them bad, it just means that it's something that we look for. Newer homes have the flat ceilings, higher ceilings, light and bright, things that this house has. Well, let's step out back. And this is the back patio. Now the sellers left a couple of tables and chairs out here, which is awfully nice of them. But notice, aside from how pretty everything is, that we're in the shade right now. And it's in the later part of the afternoon, and the solar orientation, you see, would have us the wrong way, sitting in the sun, not able to enjoy the afternoon beauty of the day, because it would be too hot back here. So I always work with my clients and make sure that they don't get surprised by buying a house that may have a pretty view, but has the sun setting in the back, especially on water where it can be really, really hot. But anyway, these folks are from the Chicago area, the new buyers. They found me through one of my videos. They came to the area back in June, met with me, looked around, we saw properties. They decided that they'd come back because they just didn't see the one that they liked at that time. They came back, found this one. It was, gee whiz, it was like listed, and they walked right into it where it was available, and so they bought it. It hadn't been on the market even 30 days. They're from the Chicago area. They own different properties. They own a 60-acre property west of Chicago with a cabin on it. They rent that out. They are very interesting folks who have bought and sold many properties. And they told me, for instance, that they were out at a Sun City in Las Vegas, but that they didn't really like the weather out there. It wasn't green like it is here in the low country. Plus they have a child in Myrtle Beach, another one in Washington, D.C., so they like this location. These are interesting folks. They even bought a house down in St. Croix in 2016, sold it again in 2020. He's a very avid golfer. He's going to love playing these golf courses, and they purchased this as a second home. Just for the winter time, and maybe later move into it, but you know, they have some other properties there. They describe themselves as being semi-retired, so they're not, they're still going, and she is too. She's a yoga instructor. Really, really nice folks. I'm just so thankful that they called me and allowed me just to be a small part of their success, and so thank you very much. Well, I was just about to finish up on this video, ladies and gentlemen, where the man who was fishing in the pond out in front of the house recognized me and said hello. Have you ever started up a conversation with somebody who you haven't seen in years and were able to just pick right up from where you left off? Well, that's what happened to me just a minute ago. The gentleman and his wife purchased a house with me about 8 or 9 years ago here in Sun City, and so we had a very good rapport at that time, and we picked right up just as if our last conversation had been yesterday. And he was telling me all about how he loved living in Sun City and was actually here participating in a fishing competition, and how much he liked his house. And then he told me, he said, you know, Rich, you really did us good. You did me good when we bought with you so many years ago. And I have to tell you, that really made my day. It just doesn't get any better than that. So Well, I'd like to be your buyer's agent, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's here in Sun City or anywhere else in this Sun City, Hilton Head area. And so I would just invite you to call me or email. My number again is 843-684-2933. My email, rich@gogated.com. That's rich@gogated.com. And my website is gogated.com. I told you we have the new gogated.com website. It has a very robust search engine. We're still doing a couple of edits on it, but it is up and running. And there's many testimonials there by clients over the years who have been very happy and with my help, and who have been very very kind, to have said very kind things about me. And you'll read them there, as well as seeing some featured videos. But if you really liked this video, and if you'd like to see more, then of course go to the Go Gated channel at YouTube. Now, again, please contact me about your real estate interests, be it here in Sun City or some other 65 community, anything at all, condominiums, and or on the island, off the island. I'll be happy to set up a search for you of all the properties that could be of interest to you, and that can update automatically, save you a lot of time, and it's the best way for you to monitor your personal real estate market. So thank you again for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon and to work with you here as your buyer's agent. Thank you again.